You can't become fit unless you understand these spiritual principles. You can't become extremely, savagely, beastly fit unless you understand these spiritual principles. To my subscribers, they already know, man, the shadow boxing, jumping the rope, hitting the heavy bag. You see how ripped I can get. If you're new to this channel, check out the videos. I mean, ripped. I'm a martial arts motivational speaker, influencer that likes to use boxing, jumping rope, shadow boxing, martial arts to help you become the greatest version of yourself. And for those on this channel, they understand that in order for me to do that, I gotta use some spirituality. So with this video, I want to help you out, man. You guys are banging your head against the wall. Still to this day, to my subscribers, they ask me questions. How do you do this? How do you do that? I'm dieting. I can't lose the weight. I can't jump rope the way that you do, this and that. So basically because you don't understand these spiritual principles, okay? Everything has spirituality behind it. You can't really achieve anything unless you understand these spiritual principles. Now, I don't want to get too wushy-washy. Understand, through boxing, through fighting in the cage, through martial arts, studying, reading, I was trying to find the power to become my strongest self so that way I can be a great fighter. Then, after being a great fighter, I wanted to be a great father, great YouTuber, great speaker. So I studied, meditate, whatever, bro. Out of all the answers, spirituality is basically things that you cannot see. Okay, I don't want to get too all wushy-washy. What can't you see? Your thoughts and your emotions. That's the only things that you can't see. You can't see your imagination. You can't see the thoughts running around your head. You can't see the self-talk that you have. And you can't see your emotions. So that's spirituality, okay? To make it extremely basic, to make it extremely simple. Now, how come you can't get fit? You've been training. You've been watching my channel for 2 years already. I've been on YouTube for about 2 years. And you guys see it. Like, you guys seen that I can be ripped. You guys seen that I'm kind of bulking up. I'm going to shred down again. But, you're trying everything that I put out there, but it's not clicking for you, okay? I don't want to make it a secret. We're like 2 minutes into the video. I don't want to make it a secret. The formula is this. The way that you use spirituality to get extremely fit, the formula is be, do, have, okay? I'm going to repeat it again. Be, do, and have. In this reality, in this world, we're taught to do the opposite. Have, do, and be. I don't know why we learned it that way, but it's totally backwards. Do is always going to be in the middle. But the way that we do it, and the way that you're probably doing it, is have, do, be, okay? The actual formula is be, do, have. What this means is have what everyone does. And what I did for an extremely long time was have, do, and be. So, to make it simple, okay? Let's say we'll use money because that's an easy example, okay? I want to be happy. I want to be free. I want to be abundant. So what's going to happen is I got to have this certain amount of, I got to be a millionaire first. Once I become a millionaire, then I'm going to do certain things. And when I do those certain things, then I'm going to be happy. Have, be, do. Backwards. Okay? The actual formula with spirituality is first you got to be free. You got to be abundant. You got to be happy. You got to be joyful. Then you're going to do certain things. And when you do those things, then you're going to have the abundance, the freedom, the happiness. It's extremely in reverse. And I've mentioned this in other videos. Your reality is just a mirrored reflection of what you're putting out. Okay? This is what it is. It's just a game of mirrors. Everything you see around you. If I go into your house, I look into your house, everything that you have there is a representation of your mind. And whoever it is that you're being, you're going to do certain things in that manner, and then you're going to have certain things. You are working out. You are trying all of my workouts. You're jumping rope for 3 hours. You're shadow boxing for 3 hours. You're trying the carnivore diet like I suggested to you, but it's still not clicking. Why? Because you're trying to have something. You're trying to, okay, I'm going to do all these things to have something. Then I'm going to do certain things. Then I should be ripped. Okay? But you got to work it in reverse, man. You got to be it first, okay? Now, for example, like with this YouTube, for a lot of you guys seen the growth, how far it came and how fast it came. I went from 0 subscribers to 100 something thousand in like 2 months. Why? Because I was being it first. I knew what I wanted. I had a clear picture of what I wanted, okay? Then I was doing things from that clear picture. Then the having the subscribers, having all these, and just being ripped, being fit, it was easy. Okay, now for you fighters, martial artists, this one comes into terms. I learned this years ago, but just through like reading books, manifestation, all this law of attraction, chi and ki, and tai chi guan, learning about ki, moving energy. I stumbled upon it again. But in the fighting sense, Muhammad Ali said, I won the fight. I think it was Muhammad Ali, but I won the fight way before I was under the lights. I was training as the winner, as the legend that I am, before I even stepped into the ring. Before I even got onto YouTube, before I even became ripped, I lived as this individual I wanted to be. And this is why a lot of you guys are having a hard time. You're jumping the rope, you're dieting, you're shadowboxing 3 hours, you're doing more work than me. But you're not getting the results. Why? Because you're doing it from a place of lack. You're trying to do the thing to get the thing. You gotta be the thing. Then you're gonna get the thing, okay? Now, the way that I help you out, I mentioned this in videos way before I even got on YouTube. On my TikTok, I mentioned this, okay? The way you gotta do it is, you gotta sit down, go outside in nature. If you don't have access to going, you don't have to be in nature. You can just be in your room, be in your bathroom, but you gotta close your eyes and you gotta think, what is the best version of myself look like? You gotta really visualize it all. Visualize the abs, visualize the way that you move, visualize what you're eating, visualize the house, the car, the people, the way you interact with people. Visualize all of it, this greatest version of you. Then you got to look at what type of exercises am I doing? What kind of foods, what kind of places do I go shopping at, okay? Once you envision all of the setting, you at your best self, with the abs, with the clothes, with the money, with all of this stuff, the setting, you then gotta zone in on what that individual is thinking and being, okay? Everybody is visualizing wrong. If you guys probably heard about the law of attraction, manifestation from guys like John Jones, Conor McGregor, because they use it. But understand, this is how you gotta use it, okay? This is how they did it. You gotta visualize all these things. And then, once you're done with visualization, you open, okay, you're visualizing, you zone in on what that person is thinking. How is he moving? How is he being? How does he feel? How does that individual feel? Okay? Once you open your eyes to this reality where it's like, shit, I don't want to be here. What you got to do is, you got to be that very person in that moment to moment, here and now. Okay? And that's a trick. That's a trick. There's many other steps to this, but this is basically reality creation, law of attraction, manifestation, the law of attraction, gratitude, all in one. And the reason why you got to be that person here and now, okay, is you got to understand this. You cannot just change your settings. You cannot just, oh, Ches, I see myself riding jet skis, hanging out with chicks. That you can't just get that. But understand, that person in that vision acts, talks, and thinks a certain way. When you open your eyes to your reality, you bring that person here. That person is going to look at everything around you in a different light. That person, when you bring that greatest version of you here into the here and now, that person is going to spend money differently. That person is going to eat differently. That person is going to work out differently. That person is going to think differently about his mother, his father, his friends. He's going to think so differently. Why? Because that greatest version of you didn't get there by the way that you're thinking now. Okay? You got to bring that greatest version of you here. And the trick about it, from what I found, a lot of people say, oh, you got to be grateful. You got to have a gratitude journal. You don't need all of that. Just figure out, sharpen it in your mind, the greatest version of you. That when you come here and you just be that person here now, that is the greatest act of gratitude. Why? Because you're not, when you don't feel like your best you, and you're looking around, you open your eyes, you're like, look at this reality, look at this belly, look at this, I'm fat, look at this money, look at this, look, I'm sloppy. Instead of fighting yourself about it, when you bring that greatest version of you here into this new reality, you're gonna look at your room like, oh, okay, I can just clean all of this. Look, I got like $5 in my pocket. My greatest version of me, he would do this. Oh, he only got these Doritos and this and that. You know what? This is what he would do. He wouldn't downplay where he is. He would use everything around him to his advantage, okay? Now, if you want to get really deep into it, from what I've come to understand, everything is energy and vibration. Everything. So these trees are basically electromagnetic molecules that are vibrating. My hands, my eyes, everything is vibrating, okay? So even in your imagination is basically electromagnetic cells floating around, creating a picture. And what happens is, you grab that greatest version of you, you bring them here into this reality. You start treating everything as that individual, that ripped, that fit, that compassionate, that kind, that strong, that wise individual. Everything around you is going to start sending signals. It's going to start receiving that. It's going to be like, hey. And what happens is, these electromagnetic cells in this current reality, in your current reality, are going to send signals to everything in that vision. And it's going to say, okay, he's ready for the jump. This is what you call quantum jumping, okay? I learned about all these spiritual principles from martial arts, from fighting. Quantum jumping, I kind of got a wind of it like 20 years ago. Back when I was in elementary school, I used to go to the library, read like books on warriors, summarize. I got into ninjas. Ninjas, they talk about remote viewing, how you can be in one area, but you can kind of scan the house just through vision and see where all your enemies are, remote viewing. But basically, remote viewing is quantum jumping. And instead of trying to jump your reality, just take that greatest version of you that you see in your mind, bring them here. When you bring that individual into this reality, you can only transform energy. You can't just physically change it. When you bring that greatest version of you here, what happens is you start imbuing your current reality with all the best versions of yourself. Boop, 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 boop. And from there, you're going to start moving pieces. You're going to start doing things in a different manner. And when you start doing these things in a different manner, your steps are going to guide you there. And when you get there, believe it, like once I got the 100,000K plaque, my silver plaque on YouTube, I was ripped, I was fit. It didn't even faze me, because I was being that guy for so long. It just fell into my lap. And more success, all these other things that I envisioned, it fell into my lap because I was just being that individual. Now, be, do, have, okay? When you're working out, you're not struggling. This greatest version of you is not like, oh man, look at my belly fat. He's thinking different thoughts. You got to think that thoughts. I made a video earlier. I probably deleted it. My intuition, the God source within me tells me, create a video, take it down. Because only so much people are supposed to view it. But this one is important, okay? I said in one of the videos, you don't have time to lollygag. Everybody tries so hard to reach something. They put all of their power in the money, obtaining abs, cars, houses, careers, that they forget that all of these things are just a reflection of who you are. Instead of trying so hard, beating your head against the wall, you got to just be that individual. You don't have time to lollygag. You don't have time to be, I grind so hard every day. Some people are teaching, you got to grind, you got to work hard. But same thing. I learned this one too from Floyd Mayweather. I learned these spiritual principles a long time ago. And there was a time when I used to watch a lot of Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather said one thing. It clicked like years ago when I watched it, when he said it. He said that everybody hits the pads like me. Everybody trains like me. Everybody hits the bag like me. Everybody shadow boxes like me. But when it's time to come under the lights, no one can perform like me. Why? Because while he was training, he was saying different things. I was watching those documentaries that lead up to the fight. He was training. His opponent, I forget which, all his opponents, they were training basically harder than him. the two things that I saw that were different was when Mayweather was training, he was saying it. TBE, TBE, legendary, TBE, Money Mayweather. He was happy, he was smiling. He was already a winner. And all that time he was training, he was a winner. No crying, no complaining, hard work, dedication, focus on my craft. Hard work, dedication, no crying, no complaining. And he was doing it. And he was happy, he was joyous. When you watch his opponents train, they were training just as long as him, 5 hours a day, but they're, I'm sore, but I'm pushing. I grind hard. Like, they didn't even want to be there. Same thing with the thinking. These guys spent 6 hours of training trying to beat Mayweather. Mayweather spent 6 hours of training thinking that he was the face of boxing. He said it himself. I'm the face of boxing. I'm the cash cow. You don't have time to be lollygagging. Go into your meditation. 5-10 minutes. Sharpen your image of who it is that you want to be. Understand, the greatest version of you is probably not shadowboxing and jumping rope and doing a carnivore diet. He's probably doing something else. She's probably doing something else. And with this, okay, with every spiritual teacher, every great coach, every great martial arts, kung fu, karate master, they will always tell you this. You are the path. I can only give you examples, but me, being Sensei, Grandmaster Shifu Ches that I am, I'm going to tell you, bro, the greatest version of you is not to look like me. It's to look like you. You, in your heart, already have an image that was set to you from God. Before you came here, you seen these flashes of your greatest version of you while you were a kid. As they say, let's play pretend. Every time you guys make believe, play pretend, you were being this best version of you. That's what you got to be, bro. This is the secret. You knew what you wanted to be when you were a kid. A lot of times you go get a job and, you know, when you're having a hard day at work, you're just thinking like, damn, what if I follow my dreams? You have these daydreams about, oh, what was my greatest self doing? Oh, I wish, you know, I put all this energy in. I got all these accolades. I got all these degrees. I got all this money. I got this nice career. But what if I took all this energy and I actually followed my dreams? That's what you're supposed to do. That's the secret to all of this. You knew what you were supposed to do by the time you got here. God is not stupid. You already had a plan. He put it in you. And you knew about it when you were a kid, okay? So what I'm trying to teach you, be, do, have. Be that greatest individual that you can see, okay? Then when you're that individual, you have that inner peace. You have that inner knowing. You have that vibration and frequency, that energy of that greatest version of you. You're going to do things. Even though you're in this reality, even though, okay, I'm this billionaire, Ches, but I only got $5 in my pocket. I have $0 in my bank account. Okay. The greatest version of you is going to use that $5 differently. He's probably not going to go spend it on fucking McDonald's. Yeah. He's going to be like, okay, I'm just going to spread this out and we're going to start investing in things. Okay. You're going to do things from a different manner, from a different vibration, from a different frequency, from a different perspective. After you're done with that, then you're going to have the thing. The trick is you got to be in this constantly, all the time. And then once the reality pops up, you're going to figure out that what I'm telling you is the way you're supposed to do it. So stop trying to beat your head, grind hard. You got to have this unwavering faith and trust in what you see and just be it. Then when all the accolades that you actually wanted fall into your lap, you're just going to be like, I didn't even need it. I don't want it. I just wanted to be this individual, the strongest version of me, the kindest version of me, the wisest version of me. And for me, this is the evolution of it. This is what I saw, okay? I was always attracted to Bruce Lee. Kind of, who wasn't inspired by Bruce Lee? And when I studied Bruce Lee, even as a kid, I would read Bruce Lee books. There was a point in time where I wanted secrets of the universe. I wanted to know things. And so, 32 years old, I was like, I'm just going to follow this dream I always had. Become like almost, you guys see it? I'm in my own version. I'm Ches Quinteri, shadowboxing, jumping the rope. Bruce Lee was like movie martial arts, with the kicking and whatever. I wanted a dude like that, ripped, but who actually I fought in a cage, who had my experiences. I wanted to be that street gang, tatted up Bruce Lee version, but yet give this wisdom about spirituality. Bruce Lee was giving a lot of wisdom about like Jeet Kune Do and this and that. I wanted Bruce Lee to speak about the universe. So instead of trying to look around, I'll just become the thing that I needed. Okay? There's many different ways to do it. be the thing that you want it to always be. It's set in there to you from God. Once you start being this thing, you're going to do things from that being. Then once you start doing things from that being, you're going to have the things that this being has. And that's just what it is, man. This is how you become extremely fit using spiritual principles. I hope you enjoyed this video. Any questions that you have, leave it down below. Just always remember, train hard and be kind.